Hello everyone, this is Cliff Ford here, and I'm going to be discussing a topic in theory on why I believe Carrot Yamato will join the Straw Hat crew after Wano, plus we are going to see the return of Vivi. Now, this whole segment I'm going to be talking about, we split up in 3 parts. So part 1 will focus with Carrot, part 2 with Yamato, and then part 3 with Vivi. Now, to start off with Carrot, I'm one of the many people out there who want her to join the Straw Hat crew. I think she would fit well with the crew. She has such great dynamic with them. She gets along great with them. There's no doubt in my mind that she would just fit in perfect with popularity, development with the Straw Hat crew in terms of friendship. No doubt in my mind. And her joining the crew isn't necessarily that I want her to join because I need her to join. It's more of like I want her to join because I feel like she needs to join for her own self development. And what I'm basically getting at is that I feel like even though Carrot has been useful and helpful for the Straw Hats in certain ways, when it comes down to it, there's still so much that Carrot hasn't really done in terms of real story to really develop who her character is and who it can be in the future. This is one reason why I'm actually glad that Carrot lost the fight against Paraspero. Now, I wish we could have gotten to see that fight a little bit more, and maybe when the anime comes out, we'll get to see that fight just a little bit longer. But I do understand and agree that Carrot had to lose that fight, because I believe that because some people brought this up, and I believe it's true that actually just raises her stakes to be a part of the Straw Hat crew even more than what we initially thought. Now, when it comes to Carrot's dream, Carrot stated that she wants to see the world, right? She had been living on Zou all her life, and she doesn't know what's really out there in the world, and she wants to experience it and see it for herself. And the only 2 islands she's really gotten to go to is Whole Cake Island and Wano. Compared to that, there's still so much that she hasn't got to experience yet. And I would like Carrot to be able to experience even more of that if she has the opportunity to. And I feel like the best way to really give that is if she sails with the Straw Hat crew. Now, another thing to look at is basically, I also feel like Carrot can not only have her own dream of seeing the world, but that can also tie into Pedro's dream of believing that the Straw Hats are going to be the ones to bring this age into a new dawn. Before Pedro had sacrificed himself, he basically mentioned to Carrot that one of these days you'll understand how important it was to help the Straw Hats. And in reality, when Pedro stated that we haven't really gotten a clear explanation on what this dawn reference is supposed to mean. Other characters have mentioned it too, such as Nekomamushi. Yamato has mentioned it, and we don't have a full idea on what this is supposed to mean. Like, what is the dawn supposed to mean exactly? And going by it, I feel like Carrot is also going to help Pedro's dream as well, and I feel like Carrot is going to want to join Luffy's crew so she can help Pedro relive his dream and to help bring this new age into a new dawn. And I feel like the only way she can do that is if she helps the Straw Hat Pirates, like Pedro was stating, that one of these days you'll understand how important it was to help Luffy and his crew. And I feel like we haven't gotten that just yet with Carrot. Other people's opinions could be totally different. I totally agree and I totally understand. But in my case, I feel like we haven't gotten that just yet. Now, when it comes to dynamic with the crew, Kara already fits in well with them. No doubt in my mind, she already fits in well, so great. Um, you know, people have brought up personally that Kara would make a great position for the lookout, and I totally agree. No doubt in my mind that she fits the lookout position just perfect. Um, I apologize for that noise you're probably hearing in the background. Um, that's my that's my baby nephew. Um, well, one of my baby nephews playing his little crib walker thing and just messing around with the toys on it. So if you're hearing some kind of noise in the background, that's my little nephew. It's either Tommy or Gene. It's one of them. I can't really tell who it is. Um, um, Now, to continue on, you know, Carrot is basically such a unique character, and I feel like she's going to ask Luffy to join the crew. And, you know, even though it's really hard to state and ask herself, will Luffy actually let her join? Um, it's really an up in the air situation because I feel like when Oda writes this story, it can be a bit of a toss up turn up for any direction of how it can go. And you know, when we're comparing to other characters and how they joined before, some characters joined out of because Luffy had simply requested them, not because of certain needs or because of stuff. And in certain situations, like when you compare it to like Robin, you know, when Robin after Luffy and his uh, crew members had defeated Crocodile and helped Vivi reclaim her land, you know, Robin had nowhere else to go, and she obviously didn't want to be sent to Impel Down. So she basically just said, "Hey, I'm joining your crew, and there's nothing you can do about it." And you know, Luffy, he just basically accepted it. He's like, "Okay, fine, okay, you can stay." I mean, it did take the Sharats a little bit of time to get to warm up to her, to get used to her, and that's completely understandable. And even Robin, Robin had nothing against it. She totally understood that it was going to be a while before she can earn their trust, even when she tried to bribe some of them so easily. um, Now, and you know, looking at other characters such as Frankie or even Chopper, you know, when Nami had gotten sick, it was important that they find a doctor as soon as possible in order to save Nami's life, or else she was going to or else she wouldn't be with the crew members anymore, or she would have died and been gone. So it was important to find a medical doctor as soon as possible. And when you're comparing to even Frankie, you know, when the Mary had gotten so badly damaged through all the travels that the Sharats were doing, and they stated that they're going to need a good shipwright who can help keep their ship intact together. You know, when they arrived at Water 7, and the whole Water 7 arc began, and when we come down to meeting Frankie, Frankie joining was an important thing because his position as a shipwright and knowing how to take care of a ship and build a ship real well, it was something important for the Straw Hats to do. So in some cases, and how Luffy the crew members join the crew, it either comes down to Luffy, you know, getting Luffy just asking you personally to join his crew because he feels like he sees something inside you to better help understand things. And another situation is when it comes down to when Luffy realizes is that okay, it's not necessarily that he wouldn't be against these people joining his crew, but he also never thought that he would actually need these people on his crew. But when it came down to it, Luffy realized, okay, I gotta have these people join my crew. I have to have these people join my crew. I need them a part of my crew. Now, you know, with Carrot, she's great of a character in terms of storyline, and I also feel like she hints at something more. And with Carrot, she's her popularity with fans out there are extremely well. I mean, she's the most popular main character in the One Piece world, for us fans, and by far. And sure, there are some people who don't really like her that much, and no disagree for however you feel comfortable with Carrot. But I personally think she's a well developed main character, and I would love to see more of her. That's really why I want her on the crew, because I feel like there's even more we can see from her. Now, what I basically state is that I feel like it would be important if Carrot asked Luffy to join the crew, because she wants to help Pedro's dream come true, and she wants to help the Straw Hats bring the dawn. Now, some people have even stated and brought up is that there really doesn't seem to much interest of it, and some people have even brought up and stated, well, maybe her and Wanda will just form a new Nox pirate, and that's a possibility. I won't deny that's a possibility, and look, if that's the way Oda wants to do it, fine by me. All right, this is Oda's story. I'm not going to interrupt anything. If that's what Oda chooses, then that's fine by me. So it really comes down to how it will play out in the future. Now, I want to basically mention is that I feel like Carrot, her situation is basically a testimony for not only in terms of her development, but also for us to understand more of how these minks are. And one thing I've thought about in theory, in situations, in terms of one place that people have brought up that they think the Straw Hats are going to travel to the moon. And that would be an interesting concept, and it's hard to actually wonder if that's actually going to come into play, because we're only 80 or 85% done with the story now. So it's really hard to wonder, okay, are we gonna really go to the moon? Now, it could be possible that that Oda is going to extend the storyline. I mean, back in interview he had in I think it was 2020 or 2021, Oda stated that there was only 5 years left. With Carrot and her being a mink, and the whole situation that they have with the moon, a lot of people would love the Straw Hats to go to the moon. And if the Straw Hats ever go to the moon, I really feel it would be an interesting concept, because of how the minks are, is if we got to have a mink travel with them. And if we got to have that opportunity, who better else than Carrot? And not to mention, when it comes to it, and how the Straw Hats bring the dawn, state of the dawn, where the minks and other characters have stated that the dawn is coming. The night is always before the dawn, and the moon is supposed to represent the night. So having Carrot join the Straw Hat crew and to sail with them, and to get to go to the moon, we not only would get to see Carrot develop her mink thing even more, probably even give it a really good understanding of how their powers work if they were on the moon themselves. So, by chance, I feel like it would be a great opportunity. So, so I feel like it would be important if she could join the crew. I have no doubt in my mind that she gets along great with the characters. And there's still so much that I feel like Carrot, that we can learn from Carrot in terms of character. And I'm not saying she needs to be a better character than Luffy or some of those characters. I'm not saying that she needs to be one of the 3 central triggers that she needs to be like a fourth trigger member of the Straw Hats. No, to me the triggers of the One Piece series, like the three lead characters who always seem to be the ones to have the top, to always seem to be the ones to trigger the stories of the One Piece world, should always be Luffy, Zoro, and Nami. They're like literally the three central main characters. Like if this was a movie and only three members were going to get like top billing, I have no doubt in my mind that only Luffy, Zoro, and Nami would receive top billing. But personally, it just comes down to, Carrot is that it's just that there's just so much that I feel like we haven't gotten from her just yet. And I feel like it would be important if we got to see that. And that's basically all I wanted to talk about in the Carrot situation. Now, before I get into the Yamato situation, there is a bit of a theory, and this is a bit of a stretch. This really is a huge stretch, and I can understand, like, I could be totally overthinking this. All right, I really could. All right, I won't lie that I could totally be overthinking this. Okay, I totally agree, 100%. Now, if everyone remembers when the Vivi card data books were first being released, when we got the Straw Hat members, Luffy, Zoro, Nami, Usopp, Sanji, Chopper, Robin, Frankie, Brooke, Jinbei, and then Mary and Sunny, and then Vivi was 13. Now, it's interesting to point this out because I feel like 11 and 12 represent something very important for the Straw Hat crew. Really, I do. And the way I see it is that I feel like the ships, I'm not sure if anyone's ever heard of this before, but there's an old saying that you should always name your ship after a girl. And the positions of the Sunny and Mary being at 11 and 12 are interesting. Not that I have anything against it. It's also the fact that I also find it strange that Vivi was placed after the ships. And normally, you probably would have figured Vivi would be placed before the ships. But the ships were before Vivi. And they weren't placed in the order that the ships appear in. And even though Oda considers them real members of the crew, they're not exactly placed. They're not exactly placed in the order that they actually appear in, but they're placed after Jinbei and before Vivi. Now, I feel like the ships are supposed to represent something. Now, and this goes into something unique when it comes to the Mink tribe and the Kozuki tribe, especially Odin, Momonosuke, and all these characters. And comparing that to Carrot and Yamato, I feel like they're representing the ships in general. Now, looking at it, when Mary basically had come to the end of its sailing, and there was no other way to save it, like the Straw Hats and Usopp had done so well together to try so well to save the Mary when they could, but when they discovered that the Mary could no longer sail anymore, that this was it. It was basically the end of the line. There was nothing that even Frankie couldn't do anything. And now you see, I feel like, because if you look at it in general, the next ship with the Sunny is basically a ship. Is basically a sun lion figurehead, and it's interesting that this represents this formula, because lions are always be depicted as king of the jungles, in a way, and Luffy's goal is to be king of the pirates. And it's interesting to point out that later down the line, Luffy and his crew are going to meet a bunch of mink tribes, who are who are associated with a bunch of samurais in the land of Wano, who are both looking to bring the dawn. And I feel like with situations with Carrot being a member of the Ming tribe, who have been who have been friends, who are willing to help out the people of Wano, and even helping to defeat Kaido, but at the same time, um, to also make friends with the enemies who should be on Kaido's side. Now look, Carrot and Yamato have not actually met yet, so and I'm not really getting to the topic of their relationship together until we actually see it. I'm basically just stating that I feel like the ships are representing something that important for that. And look, I mentioned, I did mention that I could totally be overthinking this. Like, I totally agree and I totally understand. But I feel like it could be a good scenario if we think of possibility if the ship's positions of 11 and 12 are to represent the Straw Hat Pirates. That's Socks, by the way. That's one of our cats. So yeah, and that's basically all I want to talk about with Carrot. I'll get into the Yamato situation as soon as I can, but and then I'll get into the Vivi situation. But yeah, that's all I want to talk about with Carrot. If you like the video, if there's any, if you guys have any if you guys feel like my opinion doesn't, well, I guess that is really what I shouldn't say. Well, I mean, if you like the video, I'm not going to necessarily ask you guys to subscribe to the channel just yet, because I'm just getting started and I need to work out this a little bit more. But personally, if you like my idea, that's fine. So yeah, so that's all. Thank you, and you have a great day, everyone. Goodbye.